Hey everyone, Tony Walsh here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm standing here in front of our muscadine vine arbor right here, and we've talked about it a couple of times in some other videos. And you can see right there the posts are leaning. Hurricane Helene took its toll on it, and we didn't beat this thing back up before springtime, so we've just been crossing our fingers, hoping that it would survive the harvest this summer. And it has actually survived, and it has produced well. Problem is, it's dangerous to get under because that thing rocks back and forth in the breeze. And it is time to get our last harvest of muscadines off for this year. So I've got to crawl underneath that thing. So there's not enough room under there for me to video y'all, and watch out to make sure this thing doesn't fall on my head, because I've got my hands all up in those vines, and the last thing I want to do is pull the wrong one and it fall off on my head. So really have to pay attention. So let me get the harvest and then I'll bring you back. Okay, we have been harvesting our muscadines since at least August 1st, because that's when these two here were done. So that is 7 cups of grape juice. And then here on the 13th, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We have 10 more cups of grape juice. Then on August 21st, we have 2, 4, 6, 7.5 cups of grape juice. Here are 2 more. They say grape jelly, but they're grape juice. I asked Jackie what was going through her mind, and she says she must have just been singing to herself. But here is 5 more cups of grape juice. And we use that, of course, you can unthaw it and drink it as grape juice. It's fine. It's already been strained. But here is a little jar of what the jelly looks like. This here was made in August of 2023. So it is our last jar. We did not make any in 2024 because just the vine didn't produce. So actually we're down to our last jar. So it's nice and clear. To me, it's better than, and obviously it's old because it says Walsh Homestead Adventures, which is our old channel name compared to what the new one is. Remember, we changed January 1 of 2024. So that's what it looks like. So besides making the grape jelly out of it, we wash them and put them in the refrigerator, and eat them as snacks. Here's some in a Tupperware bowl. Here's some the girls picked day before yesterday, just in a Ziploc bag. And this is the harvest that I just picked today. I'm guessing that is a 1 gallon or a 2 gallon bucket. You can see here in relation to my hand, so however long that is. That is going to wind up our muscadine harvest for 2025. There might be another handful on there, but I even picked some of the ones that normally I wouldn't pick. See, that's one that I would not have picked, except I'm wanting to be done. And besides the darker the purple, the sweeter they are. But there's actually, I'm not going to be able to find what we call white. But yeah, here's one right here, if I can get it out of there. It is a white one. We only have about a handful of them a year. That vineyard out there is actually 2 different ones, but the purples have far outchoked the white ones. Well, for some reason my phone cut off, so just going back to finish this up in closing. One thing we're going to do, if you saw my recent peanut video where I had the boiled peanuts versus the canned peanuts, we're going to freeze these. You can see we got plenty of juice. Not very much to snack on, and normally I'd use them to snack on, but I'm wanting to try something different. I'm wanting to freeze these as they are after we wash them, because next year I will not need that much grape juice, because that's going to make a lot of grape jelly. So I need to go ahead and figure out what I'm going to do with next year's harvest. And so whether we make wine with it, I've never made wine, so I might try wine, you don't know. But I want to freeze these right here for at least 30 days and then unthaw them and see what they taste like. Everybody says they taste the same. But what it is, I've just got an alternative way to store another food product. It's like having the boiled peanuts and then the canned boiled peanuts. You know, now we've got grape juice that we can unthaw and drink. You know, if we run out of water, we'll have snacks, you know, at least for a day or two. So again, that's all about growing your own food, coming up with different alternative ways to store it so that you're always prepared for your own food supply. You know, like I say, if the well goes bad, whatever, we can unthaw and have grape juice to drink. So think about your food harvest and start thinking out of the box and finding different ways to store and preserve the same item. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down button twice. But always leave us a comment. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your friendship. And until we get back together, y'all take care and God bless.